So here is the actual suit, even though you can only see like the torso because landscape, YouTube, that's the way it is. If you see my other videos, you'll see how I made the Daken bone claws, which are also applicable for Wolverine's bone claws, or tidy them up and they can be adamantium. And I have a video available for this cowl mask, whatever you call it. I'm going to take this off now. But yeah, this is the suit. As for the rest of the suit, this is just kind of a video that I filmed along the way of making it. It is derived from multiple concept arts, where I wanted the suit to be yellow and brown because that's the suit that Daken wears as Dark Wolverine. I also wanted it to have a bit of a real world feel to it. So for the yellow, I've used a like textured spandex. I've added some nylon straps here to kind of add homage to the kind of like lines that Wolverine has, not on the yellow and brown suit, but I just thought it'd look cool. Same for like these straps up here. I just thought it'd look cool. For the torso here, I've also kind of added the like X-Men movies style, like the really leather ones they have. I just like the X on it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to kind of incorporate that as well. That is the main basis of what I've done. Multiple concept arts, tried to give it a real world feel, some cordura, textured spandex, and yeah. I mean, the original concept for this actually came from, I was thinking that looks like Comic Cons are going ahead this summer, LFCC being the first con. End of July, it's going to be really hot. And I don't have any summer friendly cosplays. They're all like black spandex, black scuba gear, puff paint, urethane armour. And I was like, oh, what do I do? And then my girlfriend Cosplay English, Lucy, she said, oh, why don't you do Hawkeye? Because then you have your arms out type of thing. And I was like, yeah, that's a good shout. I could do that. That'd be easy enough to do as well. And I decided on kind of doing it. And then I just kind of thought, you know what? I don't love the character. I don't really care for the character. I like him in the films, fair enough, but I've not read any comics about him. I don't know that much of his backstory, and you know what, I want to cosplay characters that I love, especially if I'm going to spend time making a cosplay of it. When I was kind of Googling like characters that could like also have their arms out and stuff, and looking up, and I saw like Logan, pretty casual cosplay, white vest, have a cigar if you want, some claws, jeans, pretty casual, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool, that's not a bad idea, but it's a bit too casual for me. I'd have to grow a beard, I have to have the hair done like kind of out and all that stuff. And then I just kind of had a flashback to when I was in high school, around the time of X-Men Origins Wolverine coming out in 2009. I was really into Marvel more primarily at the time. I got the Wolverine Origins comic, and I was quite into Wolverine at the time, a bit of an infatuation, like kind of really into that character specifically at the time. And in high school, I was, if you ever have IT classes, you'll kind of sit like in big like lines at computers, and you can sit at your own computer. And I was sat in the corner. I was looking up characters, and I was looking up Daken as part of like Wolverine's history and origin and things. And I was on Wikipedia just looking up Daken, and little did I know that I forget, like sometimes the teachers at their main powerful computer can see what the entire class are up to on their screens to make sure to check if they're actually doing their work or playing Minecraft, as most people did at the time. And we had interactive whiteboards, so they could project, there's a projector on there and stuff. Their teacher saw I wasn't doing work and decided to put whatever I was doing on my screen on the big interactive whiteboard with my name up in the top right corner type of thing. And I'm oblivious to this, so I was there just at the time looking up Daken, curious about the character. Then I hear kind of like silence and a couple of snickers, and I turn around and the whole class is looking at me, and they laugh at me because my screen's on the board. There I'm looking up superhero things, and that's not cool. And for weeks later I'd have kids coming up to me in the hallway and just being like, Daken, just literally like that. That's not how you pronounce it as well. My stepmom's Japanese, she confirmed it's pronounced Daken, not Daken. But yeah, I'd have a little bit of mocking and stuff. And one of the things I love about cosplay is that I can make my younger self proud. So I kind of had this flashback of like, yeah, I want to cosplay Daken, the character I got bullied for a little bit. And I absolutely loved reading about that character. I have a couple of comics related to him. I was also thinking as well, like with Hawkeye, when I was thinking of cosplaying Hawkeye, I was like, oh, I don't have any comics related to Hawkeye. The only Hawkeye comic I do have is Dark Avengers. And even then, that's not Clint as Hawkeye. That's Bullseye as Hawkeye, with like Norman Osborn as Iron Patriot and Daken as Wolverine and stuff like that. It's the only comic that I've got that has Hawkeye in. But yeah, that's kind of the reasoning behind why I decided to do Daken, was that whole kind of process and I realised he has his arms out, so it'll be a little bit easier. And I decided to use textured spandex, so it's breathable. Yeah, the Cordura and pleather isn't breathable, but it only takes up like this part. Like the sides are breathable. They're not too bad. That's the story behind that. This is the suit. I've done a photo shoot in it, hence the like haircut, which I wouldn't usually go for. I didn't want to go like shaved sides, so I was like, well, I've got stubble and I've got like, and I'll like trim the sides down to like a 2 as well, so they're kind of like even. So like, they both grow out at the same time, and then like the length on the top is that. So yeah, that's it. That's the story. So thanks for listening to all of that so far. Follow me for the video on how I made it coming now. So I started out with a t-shirt of drawing on with a Sharpie, just where I wanted the pattern to go. In retrospect, I shouldn't have used this t-shirt, but it was just a spare one that I don't want to wear anymore, and I was going to get rid of. It was stretchy. Ideally, don't use stretchy ones, because then it will just crunch up a little bit when it's not on you. And then transferred the pattern the best I could onto the pleather that I was using as a base. Made kind of shoulder pads to go in over the deltoid, and then you see here I'm gluing down the kind of shoulder pad that I've glued the pleather onto, now onto some Cordura to add an extra kind of layered effect. Here is the textured spandex that I'm using for the yellow areas of the suit. Here I am sewing together the legs, the trousers for this, as you kind of see here. Now I'm just going to pin it where kind of the ankles are, so it has a nice ending to it. And there it is, kind of all pinned together, and here I'm just trying it on. It looks more like a skirt at the moment, but I'm just checking that it fits my waist as I expect it to. I kind of got to pin it in around the legs, and there it is pinned around the legs. It's inside out at the moment, because then we're going to sew up where it's pinned on the inside. I didn't have much spare fabric. I should have probably bought another metre or so the pockets I'm making are smaller than ideal, but they still just about fit phone in, but probably going to be used for like business cards. I'm just making a couple of pockets to go on the trousers to make it a bit more combat-like. So it's just like that on the outside, then you turn them inside out, and like that. Add a bit of Velcro on, and there they are. Back to the torso, so inspired primarily by the very leather suits in the X-Men films. The big X on them, the way that is, not the way it is in any of the comics. So just seeing the X-Men films, I was like, yeah, I want to have an X on it. I like those, so I've kind of drawn on the shape I want, got some Cordura, measured it out, tried to make it as even as possible, and just kind of made that shape, pinned it on, pinched it, sewn it down, done. I've also got the yellow spandex kind of sides on at the moment, and just testing how that fits. Then I've got some nylon webbing, both yellow and brown, and this is a very vibrant yellow, but I'm going to weather that later, and adding on some D-rings to get that kind of effect. Now I'm pinning on the shoulder pads, where it kind of go down to the deltoid, like cover the deltoid areas. I'm going to sew those on, and here you see me sewing up the back with the like side yellow nylon bits on. Here's something I originally thought about doing and have done here, is I was just going to have the side straps be velcroed on, and then just kind of fit the torso just on over my head, because the stretchy texture spandex. However, the kind of D-rings would like flop out a little bit, it wouldn't be like flush down to the edge, so in the end I actually cut it up the back and put a zip up there and glued it down fully. Here you see I've also got a zip put around the waist, which also goes to the trousers, which is the same as the MCU Captain America suits, Ant-Man and Daredevil. This makes sure they kind of hold up together and meet in the same place and don't really move, like your trousers won't fall down or anything, and this is getting covered by Bell anyway. Here I'm trying to make a collar. I'm not very good at making collars. It's a very trial and error. It doesn't work very well. Someone teach me, please. I need to learn more about how to make these types of collars. Make like a suit collar, like a smart shirt collar, but these types of collars, it's a struggle. It's very messy, but it's going to go under the suit anyway. Here is just kind of a little test fit. And then here it is on a mannequin, because I was about to weather this at this stage, but my airbrush broke, which in retrospect was great because it gave me a chance to kind of fix things like the shoulder pads. I was not happy with how they looked on me, and they made me look very small. They didn't hold down very well, so I decided to go for more of the John Cassidy look on the other side here. And lastly, airbrushing to get that detail, very essential. So that's how I made it. I was really I did intend to have the, as you saw at parts of the video, the the shoulders coming down, which is more accurate to the original. But when I had it, it kind of just, it didn't sit right. It was kind of weird. I'd kind of have to click my shoulders into that place, or I was thinking like, well, I'd have to glue them down or something. So I decided for practicality as well. I mean, I love the John Cassidy artwork from the X-Men. So I decided, you know what, I'll just go for like a John Cassidy style artwork of the suit, because I'm making it from my own kind of multiple concepts and my own concept. So yeah, you know what, I'm just going to do that. So I just kind of went for like the off the shoulder, a little bit extra with like nylon straps and things. So that's how I made the suit. I'll chuck a couple of pictures up now with a photo shoot that I did. Like I took a couple of clips as well, so like watch those. It was fun. I was in a forest being stabby. So I'll chuck those clips on now. They were the clips anyway. It was a really fun shoot to do. Really loved being in the forest. Had loads of mountain bikers coming up and being like, what are you doing? And it's like, oh, you know, just like stabbing people with my bone claws. But yeah, I absolutely love doing the shoot, and I really look forward to suiting up again, doing so in the suit. But to check out those pictures, make sure you check out my Instagram, where I'll have more of those pictures up and available. And that's it really. That's the suit. That's how I made it. You've seen a video how I did the claws. You've seen a video how I did the cowl mask. So thanks very much for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos and more cosplay tutorials, more fitness stuff, more cereal eating. Just, I don't know, just me doing me things. So check out my other platforms, check out my videos, like, subscribe, do all the things, or I'll come at you with my bone claws. I won't, that's not a threat, it's a joke.